welcome back to my channel. I love overnight oats, but they do get really boring, especially if you kind of just make the same recipes all the time. So I wanted to share 3 new, super easy, delicious protein-packed overnight oat recipes you're gonna love. These are not recipes you've probably ever tried before. So for me, it's really important for breakfast that it's super convenient, it's easy to meal prep, so I actually have it ready to go, because when you're busy in the morning, the last thing you wanna think about is making breakfast. And what I like about overnight oats also is that you can have them hot or cold, so they're good all year round. And kind of depending on like your vibe, you can either like just grab them right out of the fridge and eat them, or you can heat them up in the microwave and have like more of that like cozy, yummy breakfast too. For me, it's always really important to make sure I'm balancing whatever I'm eating with healthy fats and carbs and proteins. So sometimes if you do oats, you're just getting the carbs, but really to help balance my blood sugar levels, my hormones, and fuel me for the day, keep me feeling full and good in the mornings, I'm gonna show you a base that I make that's kind of the standard base for my protein oats, and then the 3 different recipes and how simple they are, so you can make all 3 super easily, or you can just like meal prep a bunch of one if you find one that's your favorite too. Real fast, before we get into these delicious recipes, if you're new to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I have new videos for you every single week, and it means so much to me that you want to be here and see what's happening. And if you haven't already, hit that thumbs up, give it a little click. I'm going to show you just how freaking easy it is to have healthy breakfast anytime. All right, so like I said, we're going to start with the base, and this is just like if you wanted the most basic plain protein overnight oats, here's your base, and then I'll show you each recipe. So the main ingredients that you need for this are going to be just oats. I just use gluten-free sprouted rolled oats, some almond milk. This is one of the cleanest, like simplest ones out there. The brand is Malk, M-A-L-K. I have chia seeds in a little cup here, and then some vanilla extract and protein. So I'm using my LSF plant protein in vanilla. I'm gonna use this in all the recipes, but if you wanted to change the flavor of the protein you're using, like if you're doing like a chocolatey peanut butter one, obviously you would use either a chocolate or a peanut butter protein, but I'm gonna use vanilla as a base for all of these recipes just to keep it simple. We're gonna start with the oats. So I'm just gonna be using about 1.5 cups of these oats. Just make sure you do not use instant oats and don't use steel cut, because steel cut are gonna be, they're never gonna soak it all up. So you just need like rolled oats. So 1.5, I mean, you can measure it like exactly, or you can kind of eyeball it. If you go a little over, it's no big deal. So if you're making just individual ones, it would just be 1/2 cup of oats, so just divide it by 3, whatever we're doing. We're gonna do 3 scoops of the vanilla plant protein. And I like to put all the dry ingredients in first, just because it makes it way easier to mix everything together. Then I'm gonna use about 1.5, we're just gonna go for 2 full tablespoons of chia seeds. If you wanted to get like real wild, go for 3. Let's just go for 3. Let's go for 3. I'm gonna pause on the base for a minute to prep my other ingredients, just because I don't want it to start soaking up all the liquid quite yet. This is like the main part, but we're gonna add the vanilla and the milk in just 1 minute. I just realized I didn't even tell you the flavors we're making yet, you guys. Get ready to have your mind blown. First, we're gonna do caramel apple, because right now it's fall, but I mean, when don't you love caramel apple? Like, that's just freaking delicious all the time. So you have caramel apple, a blueberry muffin, and then a lemon matcha scone. Ah, they're gonna be so good. Like, have you ever heard of those flavors before? Lemon matcha scone, it's gonna be delicious. We're gonna start with the caramel apple. I only really need 1/2 of an apple, since it's just 1 serving of this particular overnight oat recipe. So I'm just gonna chop this one up. I'll probably just eat the other 1/2 right now as a snack, actually, because it sounds good. But if you're making, you know, 2 or 3 servings of the caramel apple, then you can use a whole apple, or really as much apple as you want. And then when it comes to cutting your apple for this, I just like to do it in smaller pieces so that it's easier to bite. I'm just gonna chop it so they're all relatively small. They don't need to be the same size. Then again, for the 1 serving of the caramel apple, I'm gonna do 2 dates, pitted. These do have the pits, so I'm gonna take them out. You can buy them pitted already. And I'm gonna chop these into smaller pieces too. Katie, watch your fingers. All right, so we have our dates and our apple. I'm just gonna push that off to the side and make sure I throw away the pits and the core so they don't get in that mix. So our caramel apple filling is good to go. We're gonna add some spices and stuff I'll show you in a second. The next one we have is the blueberry muffin. So for that, I'm gonna actually be using freeze-dried blueberries. You can use fresh blueberries as well, whatever you want. I just like when I know they're gonna be in the fridge for like a day or two. I think the freeze-dried ones just like kind of hold up a little bit better, but it's really whatever you prefer and whatever's easier for you to get. You can even use frozen blueberries, that's fine. I love wild blueberries frozen because they're like little and packed with nutrients. So if you go frozen, try to get the wild ones. And then we're gonna add to this one cashew butter as well. Cashew butter can be really pricey, so although I love the flavor of cashew butter the best with this specific recipe, if you want to use peanut butter or almond butter or anything else, sunflower butter, you can use anything you want and swap it in, but I prefer the cashew butter just because the flavor is perfect for this blueberry muffin. And then the lemon matcha scone is actually the easiest one of all. So we're gonna use the cashew butter again in that one to bring in some of those healthy fats and kind of that scone-ish base. But then we're gonna use the Let's Go Fitness Pep Rally Energy Boost, which one is great because you're gonna get a little bit of that natural caffeine in the morning, all the antioxidants from the green tea and matcha in here, loaded with benefits, but it also has that lemon green tea flavor already in it. And when you bring that together with the cashew butter and the almond milk, it is magical in these oats, you guys. Like, it's ridiculous how good it is. So this one's super, super simple. So let's get to building each of our bowls. Now that we have all like the filling for each recipe ready to go, we're gonna finish up our base. And then I have these cute little jars I got on Amazon that already have the spoons. It just makes it easy. I'll link them for you guys, but you can use mason jars, Tupperware, like it does not matter what you put it in. These just obviously are cute and I like them. So I'm gonna mix up the dry ingredients first. You guys see that? We're gonna mix these up first and then I'll start adding in all the wet stuff. So for our base, we're gonna add 3/4 cup per serving. And we have 3 servings. Math is not my thing. I'm just gonna use the 1/4 cup and do it 9 times. Yes. All right. So it's 1, 2, 3. One more time. Yeah, 1. For the vanilla extract, I'm just using the one from Trader Joe's. It's organic, pure bourbon vanilla extract. Use whatever you have. 1.5 teaspoons. That was almost 2 because it poured really fast, but it's fine. If anything, it'll just taste even better. And then I want you to just mix this up all together super well. And as we start to build the individual bowls, I'm gonna do, and you'll notice like I put them in this order specifically, I'm gonna do the matcha, the lemon matcha scone last because I'm just gonna add the powder in here and mix that up before I put it in the bowl, just to make it easier. For the other ingredients, it's kind of up to you how you want to do it. You can do the fruit at the bottom, you can do it in the middle and kind of layer it. You might want to put it at the bottom and then you can just like mix it up later when you go to eat it. But right now I'm just trying to really get all of the oats and chia seeds well covered in that milk so that there's not like any dry clumps. That's not fun the next morning. You don't want it. Okay, so we're gonna start with our caramel apple. And you're probably like, but Katie, there's no caramel, I don't understand. Dates are like truly nature's caramel. The flavor that they give is incredible. If you have not been eating dates, get on it. They're loaded with amazing benefits, but they're like basically candy. So you get a little bit of that like treat feel in the morning. So I'm gonna do probably like half of this at the bottom because there's a lot of our mixture, just like that. The other thing I'm gonna add to this is some cinnamon right on top. So I'm using Ceylon cinnamon. This is the best type of cinnamon you can use. It's a great anti-inflammatory. So just drop that as much as you want. I love cinnamon, so I go a little crazy, but. And then we're gonna add our oats. It starts to look a little messy once they get in there. If it's delicious, do we really care if it's super aesthetic and perfect? No. So I'm gonna do about 3.5 scoops. You just kind of wanna eyeball it. I'm literally spilling everywhere. Eyeball it to make sure you're gonna have enough for your other 2 bowls. Okay, I take it back. I do like things to look like somewhat nice, so I'm just gonna kind of wipe with a paper towel the inside so we don't have those drips everywhere. And then I'm gonna take the remainder of my apple, and my dates and just put that right on top. And then if you have time in the morning, or if you want to, you can always put this in a baggie and put it on top the next day too. Or you can cut up some extra the next morning and do it. And then a little more cinnamon. And we have our first overnight oats. Our apple caramel ones are good to go. Okay, now we're gonna do our blueberry muffin. So I'm gonna take those freeze-dried blueberries. If you're using fresh blueberries, like same thing. I'm just gonna eyeball how much I want. So I'm gonna put a little layer at the bottom and take my tablespoon and do 1 tablespoon of cashew butter. I'm actually gonna use half of the cashew butter right now at the base of this, and then we're gonna add half at the top. So just kind of blob it in there. I'm gonna sprinkle some more right on top, and then add that second half of the tablespoon of cashew butter. So good healthy fats, but keeping it into a nice reasonable portion, not overdoing it. And our blueberry muffin overnight oats are good to go. Last up, we have the lemon matcha scone. Oh, this one's so good. So, like I said, I'm just gonna add the pep rally right in here. I'm gonna use 1 scoop. If you like really want more caffeine and you want more flavor, you can use 2 scoops. I'm gonna go work out in the morning. This is such a good breakfast because you get that energy. So we're just gonna mix it. Yeah, gonna mix it all together. So same thing, just like when we were coating it originally with the milk, you just wanna make sure you get it really nice and well combined in there so that everything gets the flavor. And then I'm gonna do something different with this one too. I'm also gonna add the 1 tablespoon of cashew butter directly in here and mix that together now as well. Like I said, the cashew butter really helps give it like that scone. I don't know how to like describe, like what is like a scone flavor? I guess like buttery flavor, right? So I want it mixed in well. And then I'm gonna show you the optional topping just because I like having stuff in here like to crunch and have more texture, but I don't wanna like take away from the flavor too much. So you can either keep it as is or add a few extra things. All right, so I'm gonna do some shredded coconut. This is unsweetened coconut. I love the flavor of that lemon and matcha and coconut all together. Something else I would recommend, I actually thought I had them and I don't, but is macadamia nut. So if you want a crunch that's not gonna take away from the flavor too much, macadamia nut would be so good in this recipe too. But we're just gonna do a little coconut to the bottom, scoop this right in there. So in each one of these recipes, the way that we did our base, you're gonna get 20 grams of plant protein. You're getting all your healthy carbs from your oats. You're getting additional protein from your chia seeds, these healthy fats in our cashew butter. Guys, what is this? What is happening? That's fine. Okay, let's clean it up and then we'll add a little more coconut. So in each one of these, you're getting about a half a cup of the oats, right? Plus you get the chia seeds that expand. If you look at my 3, they look very different because obviously my scoops are a bit different, but also because filling like apples and stuff take up more space, they don't all have to be perfectly even, but again, you can always measure into the cup instead of just like scooping it like I did if you wanna make sure they're exact. All right guys, so that's it. Like the easiest, most simple, delicious way to make overnight oats, have a healthy breakfast you can take on the go, hot or cold, and really mix it up so you can keep like playing with it. Again, you can put whatever you want in here, especially now that you have that base. You can do anything with them. But these are 3 of my favorite, most unique recipes you're gonna absolutely love. If you ever wanna add like more sweetness to them, I would add either our Miss Congeniality Mood Boost, because it's just that basic vanilla flavor. No added actual sugar. It has stevia and monk fruit, so you're not getting extra calories. Or a little bit of maple syrup would be the other thing if you wanted something else, but I think they're perfectly sweet just as they are. We're gonna put them in the fridge overnight. They're actually probably almost ready to go, but I like putting them in the fridge for at least 2 hours to make sure you really like cook those oats, let the milk get soaked up in there nicely. So in the fridge for at least 2 hours, preferably overnight, and then you're good to go. If you guys do like these healthy, easy recipes, make sure you are subscribed because I'm gonna be sharing some healthy, holiday-inspired desserts with you in a week or 2, and you do not wanna miss them. They're so freaking delicious, and again, super simple to make. I don't like to bake. I don't like to spend a ton of time in the kitchen. I want things that are easy, they're good for me, and they're really, really delicious. That's kind of just like my 3 like priorities for pretty much anything when it comes to food. All right, you guys, love you so much. I'll see you next week, unless I have this baby, and then I might have to take a week off, but we're gonna keep going until it happens.